In today's video, I wanted to show you how to add a new variable product to your e-commerce store. So take a minute and log in, and once you've done that, we'll take a look at this left menu and we'll click on products. And we're going to be adding a new product, so just click the add new button. And I'll start filling out some of these basic product info fields, starting with the product name. Below that, we have our long description, and I'm going to put some placeholder here. Next, I'll select the product category, and since it's a sticker, I'm going to call that an accessory. Next, I'll set the main product image, and I already uploaded that, so I'm just going to click it and set it. And you could add more products to the product gallery, product images to the product gallery, but I'm going to add those later when we get to the more detailed product info. So I'm going to leave that as is for now and enter a product short description. Okay, now we're moving on to the more detailed info. So starting with the product type, we're going to select this dropdown and click variable product. And some things rearranged, which is fine. It's just based off of our product type. It gives us different fields and information to fill in. So starting with our inventory tab, we have SKU, a SKU field. You could manage your stock if you wish to. These are some optional fields. It really depends on what you have, how you have your store set up, and if you want to manage stock and have a SKU system. But I do not, so I'm leaving that for now and going to the shipping tab. So this is where you would need to fill in weights and dimensions if you have dynamically generated shipping rates. If you don't have dynamic generated rates, then you have flat rate, which is what I have, so I don't need to fill in this info. Same goes for the shipping class. Unless you have something specific about your store, then you probably don't need to select anything from here, and you won't really have an option if you don't have anything special set up. So I'm leaving this as is for now as well, and moving on to the linked products tab. So here we have our upsells and cross-sells. So upsells are products that could be selected to show as related to the one that we're making. It shows underneath at the very bottom of the description and product info of the one we're making. So by default, WooCommerce will take products within the same category and put those underneath. But if you want to be a little bit more selective, as long as you already have the product in your store, then you can just start typing and select from there the products that you want to show as related to the one we're making. Cross-sells, these are pretty similar to upsells, except anything you select here will show on the cart page as long as you have this product in your cart. But I'm going to leave this as is. This is optional info. So moving on to the attributes tab, this is the important area where we're going to add the product options. So I'll be adding two today. I'll be adding a size option dropdown and a species option dropdown. So clicking the button that says add, we'll add the label, which is size, and I'm going to enter the values. So pay attention for how you enter the values. You need to use a pipe in between the different options. So I'll write that out for you here. Just like that. And make sure that you check use for variations and press save. Now I'll add our second option. So I'll click add again. And species, which is really a different design. So I'll add those. And check that used for variations box. And I'll press save. Now that that's saved, we'll move on to the Variations tab. So here's where you control how many different variations and the different pricing for our variations. So if pricing doesn't matter between the options that you've set up, then you would leave this as is and just press go, which basically means any size, any species will be this price, has this much stock, and the rest of the info follows. But I am going to add individual pricing based off of the options, more so the size. So I'm going to remove this. And from this dropdown, I'll click Create Variations from All Attributes and press Go. And some little dialog boxes will come up. It's pretty much just telling you what it's doing. Those are fine. So I have 6 total variations. And I'm going to fill in different pricing based off of my size. So we'll start with 3. And this is the golden trout design. So I'm going to make sure that I select my specific image. If you have an image for each variation, this is where you would add it. That's why I wasn't adding it to the product gallery. And I'll show you how that works on the front end when we're all done. But for now, I'll finish filling out the rest of our options. Select my other design. And our last size. Okay. Now, if you have your variations, if they have different pricing, obviously this is where you would enter that. If you want to manage stock at such a specific level, you can manage that here. Same for the shipping, for mostly the dynamic rates. So most of it's optional. It depends how you want to manage your store. So all that's really necessary is the pricing. So I'm going to save that. And we've entered all of our info. So I'm going to click on publish. And remember, once you hit publish, it's automatically added to your store and it's live and ready to be bought. So something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look at our new product. So we've got our product image, product title. It shows the variable pricing, our short description. Here's our options that we just made and the long description. So I want to show you how when I added the images to the variation area in the more detailed product info, I want to show you how it switches the image on us based off of the design. So that's why I prefer to add the images in that area versus the gallery. The gallery would just show underneath, but this is a more accurate representation of each design. So that's pretty much it. You're ready to start selling your variable product.